Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm gonna make a little referral, to something that I said on my last video. I had mentioned that there's a particular fabric that is used to make an attire in Botswana, like, let me say a footprint, attire for Botswana in general. And then I've mentioned a particular group that used or is supposed to wear that same fabric in a different design and only that design. I say that the women who are married are the only ones who are supposed to wear that fabric in a wraparound skirt, and then they have to wear it putting, a blanket on the shoulders or a shawl, whatever you want to call it, and then they also have to wear a headscarf or a head wrap that is similar or that is uniform. And then I also mentioned that, when a man wants to get married, they don't go to one's place alone. They just send the elders. They will send the elderly men who are married, and they will have to go with the women again who are married, who put on that skirt, to go and negotiate what we call the lobola price or the bride price in English. The price is basically saying, thank you for giving us your daughter, not necessarily like you are selling your child, no. It's just that, thanks, kind of some, to say thank you for giving us your child. And then this price can either be in monetary terms, or you have to, give them the cows. But in the olden days, it was strictly the cows, because that was the significance of, marriage in that olden days. But today, because the cultures changes, and even the dynamics has changed, the man's family can opt, if they don't have cows, they can opt to give the woman's family money, but the money has to be equivalent to the cows, because they charge in cows. If they charge you in cows, and then they tell you that one cow, or if you want to go around and look for cows, and then the farmer will tell you, no, I'm selling my cow, one cow for 1,000 bula, for argument's sake, you're going to have to pop up the 8,000 bula. It means the money has to tie with the number of cows, or the number of cows have to be equivalent to the money price. So that's how much you have to pop. I'm not sure how much in other currencies, the US dollar and other currencies, So that is the significance of it. And then today I'm going to mention, I'm going to have to mention also something different. And in my country, every household has to have a pot or pots. They are called three-legged pots. These are the kind of pots that are used to cook meals at, traditional celebration, any celebration in my country. And this pot, it is initially made of aluminum, and then it's painted black because it cooks in the open fire outside. So this pot is used in celebrations and, celebrations or events like weddings, your independence celebrations, your even birthdays, and your Christmas lunches, and any other celebration that's going on in the country that is traditional. So shortly after, I will show you the kind of pots that I'm talking about, and they were used in the cooking Christmas lunch just 2 days ago. And then again, I have to show you the picture of the kind of clothing that I talked about, the women who were wearing the clothing, and then the total setup. And then I have to mention that, our culture is quite, important to us, and no one takes it for granted. And all this that I mentioned has been practiced long time ago, and they're still practiced even today, because the country and its community are trying by all means to preserve the culture for its coming generations. Even at schools, all the schools in my country, from primary to secondary schools, they have modern buildings, and then they have that special hut house, a house made of mud that is at the corner of the school that is used to do, cultural lessons. So when it's time for cultural lessons, teachers will take the students to that hut or to that mud house to learn about culture. So that is how important the culture is. And in all the schools, the local schools or the government schools, Setswana is widely taught to every student. Every Botswana student has to be taught or has to learn, has to have Setswana language in her subjects. And because Setswana is our official language, or the native language, it's our first language, and then the second language is English. So that's how important, our culture and our language is to us. And then there are so many events again that ties with the culture that has been practiced. So, but those events, some of them has been there a long time ago. Some of them came with the, initiatives from youth, trying to bring back the culture. And some of those events that I'm going to mention here is called, Thobo. Thobo is an event that is normally practiced at churches. Thobo means that you reap or sow. So all the people, all the church members will bring what they've plowed for the previous season or the past season to the church. The pastor will pray for this, this harvest. Let me put it, the harvest from their fields, because in my country we believe that when you pray for harvest, you're going to harvest more in coming seasons. So that's how we practiced. And then the harvest, after everything is done at church, the harvest, some women will be cooking the food that the community of the church members brought to church. They cook it for the whole church to come and eat it. And then after church, all the members of the church will eat that food. And then the other cultural event, is called the kafela. The kafela is where now it's practiced at the villages, where the elderly or the elder of the villages will call the people at the khotla. Khotla is a setup where the chief is addressing the community most of the time. So the people are gathering at the khotla, and then they'll also bring their harvest, from their fields to the khotla. And then at the khotla for that day, only the traditional, music will be played. Traditional dancers come and play as part of the entertainment. And then the food will also be cooked for the rest of the people who attended the khotla or for the community to come and eat. So that's how important it is. And then the other event is called Son of the Soil. Son of the Soil is an initiative by the youth of Botswana from a long time ago, about over 10 years now. So in the Son of the Soil, again, the theme is all of the people who attend, men and women and kids, have to wear a traditional attire. Either a traditional attire, the widely worn blue, or any ethnic traditional attire of choice. As long as it exists in our country, then you have to wear it at that event. No one enters the event without wearing a cultural outfit, And then at that event, the food that is prepared at that event is traditional food, and they are normally cooked, or they are always, most of the time, all the time cooked with the three-legged horse that I just mentioned. So the people just, sacrifice, cook for the food for that event, and then the people in that event will eat the food. And then the other cultural event that is held, annually is called the Teisi on Slick. The Teisi means that fabric that is blue. So in that, event again, all the people attending has to wear that iconic blue color, the Teisi or the fabric, to that event. And then the organizers will just, invite musicians from outside the country and in the country who only sings traditional music or music in their own cultures. So that is how our culture is important to us, and we do not take it for granted, and we try by all means to preserve the culture as much as possible for our coming generations, for our kids and their kids as well. In the comment section, I would like you to, maybe if you want me to talk more about the culture, you tell me, or if there's anything that you want me to touch base on, excuse me, regarding culture, or anything that you want to learn or to know about my country, Botswana, you can put it in the comment section and I'll respond to every comments, and I'll react to every comments as well. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.